Hey everyone, this is Tao. This is gonna be a little more of a personal video. I will say probably not as much into the audio, so it might be a little bit more choppy than what you used to. A little bit less excitement, I don't know. And it's completely off script, so I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But we're gonna continue on anyways. I wanted to talk about Spy Family a little bit more. There was a part in the video that I wanted to put in, but I couldn't because it would have been a little bit longer video. And it would just kind of ruin the mood of the entire video. This is one of my biggest reasons why Spy Family is so high up on my list. Spy Family, I can admit when it has its points. It's really good, has really pretty decent characters. They aren't completely mid. They're likable, they're understandable. They all have their character arcs throughout the manga and the anime. And it's fun, it's enjoyable, it's a very fun ride. Because every week a new episode comes out. You'll usually see me on my couch. I'll watch the previous episode in dubbed. I know, I'm sorry. I'll watch the previous episode in dubbed and then quickly watch the latest episode. So technically I'm rewatching it over and over again because I'm enjoying the show. And I remember every time I watch the newest episode and the previous episode, I still have the same enjoyment, if not more. Because I just love it. But the biggest reason isn't just because how much I enjoy the show or how much I'm in love with it. The biggest reason is because it brought me out of depression. I have been depressed ever since the start of COVID. Or I should say the very beginning stages of COVID. Let's take myself back to a little bit. For junior and senior year of college, I was depressed. And I was so depressed, I lost all passion in life. And then I went to college, and my friends that I met up there asked me to play volleyball with them. And I did. And I still had a little bit of passion for volleyball, and one of them watched anime, and they told me to watch Haikyuu. And Haikyuu became the anime for me that became my #1 favorite anime of all time, because it did end, and I loved the entire journey. Because it felt like me, that felt like my progression. And me watching it and reading it, it made me feel more passionate about this sport that I just recently started playing. And it made me feel happy about myself, having fun. Once again, develop a passion. And that kind of got me out of that because I had a passion now. And then COVID happened. The week before COVID happened, I signed up for a tournament that was supposed to happen in 2 weeks with a bunch of my friends. And I was going to be the setter. And we were going to participate in a tournament. And we could have won money, obviously. And to a college student, the money that we offer was like, oh my gosh, this is so much money. And COVID happened, and that was all lost. Because COVID took everything. And I was left with nothing. So I lost passion, and that plummeted my grades because I had no passion anymore. Nothing to keep me going. And I slowly went down into a spiral. And that was me for most of the rest of COVID, and up to just a month ago now. Maybe more like 2 months ago. Because everything was faltering. I was having fun here and there, don't get me wrong. There was a lot of things that went down in my life that I was having fun with. Tao Talks were really fun, but it was only fun during it. Before it, I was having anxiety attacks because, oh my gosh. Guess what? Tao Talks is coming on, and I have a great guest, but I'm terrible. And that was my mindset. I was trash. People keep on telling me that I'm good at it, but I wouldn't believe it. There's nothing you can tell me to believe it. Hold on. Like I said, I'm sorry this is unscripted. I'm sorry there's going to be a little bit more breaks because I'm taking sips of water. But I wanted to get it out here because every time I went on, I felt I was having fun during it. But afterwards, I would have an anxiety attack again because I was just like, oh my gosh, maybe they didn't like it. Maybe I didn't do my part. And that affected it. Or when I went to Otakon, here's a story that I told here and there, but never on YouTube or anything. Otakon was fun, but I didn't have fun. I had fun and I didn't. My anxiety took over tremendously, and I had panic attacks. I would go to the convention and I would have fun. And I'll come back home to my hotel and be a little more anxiety, like have a little anxiety in here and be fine. And then I had one after the Love Phenomenon stream, and I broke down into tears because the anxiety took over and I was done. And all that was playing a part. I'm sorry this is a little bit long. I'm sorry, but this is why I didn't want to put it in the video, because it was gonna be long. You go from that to now. Let's skip ahead. So I'm depressed, and I have been for a while. I started getting out of it because I quit my job. A job that was causing me to be a little become more toxic. Made me hate streaming because I hated my job. And I just couldn't find enjoyment in anything. And then I started making new YouTube videos, and that brought some enjoyment. But my job was still toxic, so some videos weren't coming out on time, and then I lost passion for some of them. Like the Ship Wars video, I lost passion for that. And then I quit, and Breath of Fresh Air happened, and I was of course looking for a job, but I was hanging out with more people, and having so much more fun. And that was one of the big reasons why I got out of it, was because of that fun I had. Probably the most fun I had in a couple years, where I could be myself and have fun and not have to worry about it. The second big reason was because a month ago, I got right back into scripting, and I had so much fun scripting. I scripted a ReZero script, a Cringe Southern Couplets one, Erwin Smith video. I scripted an Aaron Yeager video and so many other videos. And then I went, I think it was 2 weeks ago now, I scripted like 14 intros. And then I finished like 5 scripts in a week. Because I had so much fun. I'm enjoying that. And I brought passion. But there was one thing missing for me to actually leave. And that was me wanting the future to come. I haven't had a future. I couldn't wait for a future in senior year of high school. I was like, I can finally start over. And I did. And I was excited for that. I haven't been excited for the future for a long time. Spy X Family came out. And I was hearing about it, and episode 3 came out at the time. And I watched it because the ending was amazing. I was having fun. I saw a bunch of artwork. I'm like, I can't wait. I decided to watch it, and it was the greatest thing I've ever done. Because, yes, I can make jokes and all that. Anya is adorable. Lloyd is fun. Yor is so much fun, but it made me want a future. It made me want to... It wanted me to actually continue doing what I do and having fun. Because I'm like, it's getting excited for a future that I haven't had in so long. Like, oh my gosh, it made me excited that maybe someday I'll have a girlfriend or a wife, and then maybe have a kid and all that. Like, I didn't want kids for the longest time, and now I do. Because the reason I didn't want kids is because I got into that toxic state. Oh, everything's annoying. Everything's annoying to me. And this show brought back who I was. I want to help someone. One of the things I said as a kid was I wanted to adopt someone as a kid. That was my goal. I didn't want too many kids on my own. I wanted at least one adopted kid. Because I thought to myself, there's one thing I want to do is I want to not save someone, that's the wrong term. But I want to show someone that they can be loved. I want to show someone who maybe had a rough going. Say like Anya, for example. She had a rough going. She's never been loved. And I want to show this person that they can be loved by someone. Obviously, you got to be strict on a child, like you always should. But I wanted to show them that they are loved. I want that. And this show made me excited for a future that I can be in. Not a future that I hate and dread that is coming. A future that I can be excited for. And that's what I love about this show. Is that reason. The best thing about an anime is it's an anime that you can get emotionally invested into. Not just an anime because it's perfect, that's your number one. Not an anime that's critically scored high like Death Note or Neon Genesis Evangelion or Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood because it's, it's on Mel, top 10, 10 out of 10. And it's like one of the greatest things ever to live. The greatest masterpiece of all time. No. Usually your best anime, the best anime that's on your number one, is usually a very flawed one. That you can bond with, that you can end up going. I'm not saying Spy X Family is not my number one, because it's not. Haikyuu will always be there. Because Haikyuu came out at the right time. But Spy X Family, when it ends, will be a close second. Because it came at the best time for me. And I can 100% say that I am out of depression. Because I haven't been feeling down about myself as much. I can feel good about my accomplishments. I can feel good about all this stuff. Which I couldn't say before. And I'm truly happy now. Spy X Family may not be perfect. Far from it. It may be flawed. It may not have the greatest side characters. It might not have the greatest story. It may just be fun. Laughs and giggles, gags. But the story is just good. It's just fun to think about. Fun to get excited for. It's a story you can be attached with. I'm sorry for this video being so long, but I wanted to make it up. I thought this video was going to be 5 minutes long, and it turns out it's like close to triple that. But it's something I wanted to get out. Like I said, I didn't want to put this in the video because I knew it would be a little bit longer. So I made this a part 2, an epilogue to the actual video. Like I said, anime that you like, don't feel bad if it's a 6 out of 10 anime. It's yours. If you like Kenichi, for example, and that because it brought you up at a certain point, or Gintama, because it was something you needed, humor. Because Gintama came from me at a good time as well. That's why Gintama is so out there. I needed humor in my life. And that was funny. I laughed at most of the jokes. And I was having fun with it. Spy X Family, Haikyuu, Gintama all came at good times for me. I can say without a shadow of a doubt that they're probably up there with some of my favorite animes of all time. I can admit when an anime is fantastic. FMAB it's a great show. It's great pacing, great characters, great everything. But I'm not as emotionally invested I am in Spy X Family, because Spy X Family is the show that I like. It's my type of humor, my type of show, and it just makes you feel good. That's about it. See ya.